Hello my friends, and welcome to another tarot card reading. I hope you're all doing marvelously. It's so good to be reading for you and to be here with you. Thank you for tuning in, and I really hope that this reading helps you, because today we're going to be looking at what are your next steps, or advice for your next steps on your current path. So remember, these readings are general readings, so I'm reading for a collective of people, and only take what resonates, discard the rest. Remember, if something doesn't resonate for you, it might resonate for someone else, so just remember that. But as always, we have 3 piles to choose from. We have pile 1, which is this beautiful Angelite, palm stone, we have pile 2, which is this gorgeous polychrome jasper, and then we have pile 3, which is this beautiful labradorite palm stone. So, what are your next steps on your current path? Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Timestamps will be in the description box below, my friends, and I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Hello, my lovely pile 1s, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this wonderful blue Angelite. What are your next steps on your current path? So Angelite is the stone of the angels, guardian angels, angels that are overseeing you, overseeing what you're doing. I feel like there's some kind of higher guidance system that's going on at the moment. I feel that it's not just, like, if you feel that you're alone in the choices that you're making, in what's happening, I feel like, you know, it's important to remember that you are being looked after, and that there are forces that are supporting you. It reminds me of that beautiful psalm of the footprints, which is such a such a kind of well-known psalm about Jesus walking along with someone, and this man asks Jesus, "Where were you at the most vital times of my life?" And I think it's a psalm, I'm not sure, but and then when he asks him, like, "Where were you?" and he said, "I was carrying you," it kind of makes me think that, you know, your angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors, the energies that come and support you, they're with you at the times when you don't realize that they are with you. So, and they are really supporting you, and they're giving you the comfort. So if you do feel like you are alone, that's what's happening. So I'm just going to place that there. Let's see what your card has got to say. So if things go better, what if things go better than expected, than I expect? Interesting. Really interesting. God, I love these cards so much. Can you see that? I don't know if you can, but it's got almost like this luminescent shine. So cool, these cards. So, and all the decks are listed in the description box below. So, what if things go better than I expected? What if things go better than I expect? Let's see what the cards have to say. So we've got the King of Swords, the 5 of Cups reversed, and then we've also got the Ace of Swords reversed. Interesting. Next steps on your path. Now, I'll be honest with you, like, this reading, even though I'm this is a predictive reading. Something is telling me not to look too far into the future because it's about you and the choices that you make. So, you know, and also, you know, it's quite difficult to predict quite far ahead in the future unless it's on a personal level. But what I see is that you being able to assert your sense of communication in terms of how you communicate with yourself and also how you communicate with others will enable you to have a better outlook of the situation. And it will also allow you to not really communicate to others about what's going on. Because, to be honest with you, it's a little bit of that thing where better for you to keep quiet about the things that you're doing rather than talk about stuff. But also on the flip side of that is if you talk about the things that could go wrong, then that almost manifests it. So it's better for you to kind of keep your mouth shut on that kind of perspective. Do you know what I mean? And I'm talking about like also with yourself. So not just with like others. I'm talking about how you self-talk, how you talk to yourself, like making sure that you're not smack talking yourself, as my wonderful sister-in-law tells me. So don't smack talk yourself. Don't talk badly about yourself to yourself. Make sure that you're talking, you know, in a good way to yourself. The 9 of Swords, yeah. And not only that, what's going to happen is that you're going to actually build a better relationship with yourself in order to ensure that you're looking at things in a positive way. Because, I don't know, like sometimes we can feel that, well, I'll tell you about myself. Like I used to feel that saying the worst things out loud would stop them from happening in a way, or that if I said about the things that were negative, that the worst possible outcome was already considered, so it didn't matter, you know. But actually it works the other way around. It's better that you expect the best. Like you prepare for the worst, but you expect the best. So that's kind of like, I mean, I've got Mars in Virgo, so like it's inevitable for me to expect like that the worst outcome could happen. But there's a positive aspect which needs to be considered, which is actually really healthy and beneficial, and more so in this situation in particular. So what I'm trying to say is that if you've got like a negative outlook, the best thing to do is to basically like try and have a more positive outlook. And we're not talking about being falsely positive. It's about looking at the reality of the situation and communicating with yourself in a positive way and not in a negative way. So not focusing on just the faults, basically. Because yes, there will be faults, but it's almost like you have to, if you want to continue on this path and you want to do this thing, there's no point in being negative about it. Because if you're going to be negative about it, you might as well not do it, right? So you better be positive about it, right? Elephant, resolve. You will overcome any obstacles. I feel like, I don't know how this is going to work, because I've decided to go a little bit closer on the camera, but I don't know, there's just not a lot of room. So let's just see how this is going to work. Okay, we've got a little bit of room here. But the cards show up nicely, right? So the elephant is an animal of resolve. It's an animal not just of resolve, sorry to repeat that, but it's an animal that's the biggest land mammal on this planet. Like, the only other animal that's bigger than the elephant is the whale. So this is an animal that is a herbivore, so it eats plants, but yet it's the biggest on the planet. I see that as a very strong animal that knows what it wants and will just take slow steps to get to where it needs to be. It's not going to rush in any way, shape or form. It's just going to just slowly just plod its way to where it needs to get to. Healing. So we've got allow yourself the time to heal from physical or emotional hurt. Now, okay. So maybe things in the past didn't work out in the way that you wanted them to. Maybe they weren't very positive, which maybe contributes to the way that you might be thinking in terms of this negative vibe. But there's something here that says to me that you're not going to give this up, in the words of Rick Astley. So you're not going to give this up. You're never going to give this up. Never going to let it down. You're going to go for it. So I think it's important for you to remember that you are going to keep on putting one foot in front of the other like the elephant does. Okay. I'm doing this in a weird way, actually. I don't normally do it this way, but let's see. It's the way that they're coming out. Okay, so we've got white buffalo. Wow, white buffalo. That's peace. That's peacefulness. Peacefulness and resolve. Allowing yourself to be peaceful in the way that you can be. Allowing yourself to be at peace with yourself. There seems to be like this kind of thing of you healing a certain level of attitude that you have within yourself. So you have to recognize how things are for yourself, how your own perspective is affecting your way. And I think like what's going on here is that you're being protected like amazingly. You're, there's, you're really being looked after in a way that I don't think you realize. You may have like spirit animal guides that might be with the elephant, but there's definitely something that wants to resolve a sense of peace within you so that you can step forward. And Angelite is about peace. Even this shape is very soothing, calming. It's about you having some kind of peace within yourself in order to continue this, And I just, just with these cards, it's just like, you've got to be really clear about it. And in a way, you've got to heal from the hurt, but then you've also got to have the detachment in order to go on, I find that a little bit like when I used to be an actor, it was the same. Like the people who did the best were the ones that were able to take rejection like on some next level. Like on a level that you couldn't. The people who can take, like, people think that acting, the high level actors, it's so easy for them because they get the work. But I'm telling you, it's really fraught with rejection. Like, not everybody gets, even high paid, well known, high profile actors. They don't get the roles that they're supposed to get. It doesn't always come to them on a plate. They have to work really hard. So you have to take rejection at some next level. Like, it's a really intense level of rejection to be an actor, or any kind of artist that's consistently auditioning. So same like with jobs. So I think it's about you being able to just be able to like pick yourself up and just get back up. It doesn't mean that you don't recognize that this might have hurt, but you just pick yourself up and you get back up again. King of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Cups. Okay. I might need to... There we go. Because you need to see these cards. Now, the King of Swords clarified by the Seven of Cups is interesting. Because that says to me that maybe... I wouldn't be an advocate for this normally, but maybe you do have to fake it a little bit before you can make it. They say that you shouldn't do that, but I don't know. Sometimes you've got to put yourself into a position in order to just get there, you know? And then before you know it, you're kind of, I'm absolutely not talking about faking anything. I'm talking about you imagining a better future for yourself. In order to move forward, remember that you do have choices. It's not, you know, and choose wisely. Okay, and then you've got the two of Wands with the Five of Cups. That for me would say that you have, you like, you're not completely, you're in a okay position, basically. You're not in a detrimental position, if that makes sense. So like, you're not in a place of lack. You're actually in a place of, you're in a good place. You're not in as bad a place that you might think you are, and you have options. Page of Swords with the Ace of Swords. Interesting. I think in this case it's choosing what to ignore in this space. It's really interesting. He's got a fan, like a shamanic fan here. Yeah, he's choosing to look and almost in a way distract himself instead of actually taking action. So I think this is almost like where you need to put your energy, and realizing that there are spaces where you need to put your energy, and that's where your energy can be best used, as opposed to like anywhere else. Okay, and the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords. Oh, is that the King of Wands? Okay, King of Wands reversed. Nine of Swords, King of Wands reversed. Interesting. There may be someone that's worrying you. Maybe you're thinking about somebody's opinion or something. But there is a possibility that you might act in some kind of way that you might regret. So just be aware of that. Yeah, I think it's more to do with the fact that if you act hastily, then it actually could cause more worry in the long term. So you have to be really kind of mindful about how you move forward and how you take the next step forward. You know, like for example, if an elephant walks forward into a certain space, it will completely demolish the space, right? So you have to kind of watch out for that. You can't just, an elephant can't just walk into a space just like we can, or can't like sneak into a space. It has to be really mindful of what it's doing. It has to, not mindful, but it has to be cautious about where it goes because of its weight. And, you know, there's something about that kind of movement that's going on here. Okay. To close out the reading, this will be the last card. Okay, you get two. No, I just want one. Sorry. I thought you were going to get two, but then they gave me three. No, I just want one. Just one. Just one. Thank you. Creativity is abundant in me. And what does it say? It says, keep a basil plant on your desk and chew on a leaf when you're in need of inspiration. Interesting. Right. So, the next step on your path, pile 1, is that give yourself the time that you need to heal. Have good expectations about what happens. Understand that you do have what it takes to move forward. Don't make any hasty decisions. Remember that you have options. Keep a peaceful outlook with all elements, including the ones that are within yourself. And remember that you can come up with solutions at any time. You really can. It's there. It's all there. But you just need to be a little bit more careful and calculated in your decisions and stepping forward. Take your time. Take your time. Pile 1. I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, have a wonderful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember, honesty is always key. Bye. Okay, pile 2. Hello, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful polychrome jasper and this card. So, what are your next steps on this path that you are, on your current path that you are taking? There's something about having a balanced view about certain things, considering all of the aspects of something, and remembering that there are lots of factors to consider in this path that you're walking on. So I'm just going to pop that there. Hopefully it will stay. And let's have a look at your card. Despite what others think, I can live in a way that honors my needs and my desires. Wow. That's really cool. Okay, let's have a look with the tarot. Despite what others think, I can live in a way that honors my needs and my desires. I mean, let's just have a look at this, because the stone itself is, polychrome jasper is about everything being able to exist within one form, you know, like, and this is such a beautiful stone. Like, I remember when I bought it, and it just gave me this gorgeous feeling of feeling together and feeling at one with something, making sure that I wasn't ignoring any part of me, and that I was considering that everything that is contained within me is part of the whole, and all of that is appreciated. All of that makes up who I am. So I think, you know, this card really kind of reiterates that. Let's have a look what the tarot wants to say about this, though. So what are the next steps on your current path? What are the next steps on my pile 2's current path, please, dear Spirit? What are the next steps on my pile 2's current path? Thank you. Okay, so we've got justice. We have the 2 of wands. We have the 7 of cups. And we have the world. Okay, interesting. These 2 cards came up for pile 1 from this deck. So 2 major, which is interesting, 2 major arcana. What are the next steps on your path? That there are going to be many distractions. But what you have is actually good enough. It actually is everything that you need. Wow, that's so cool. I've just started using these cards. That is mad, that card. Look at that. That is mad. These are called the Children of Litha. So, oh no, sorry, the Children of Ostara, which is a new deck by Alexandra Huntington, I think her name is. And she's an artist that did the Children of Litha deck. And then she released this new deck called the Children of Ostara, and I just got it. So this is the first time I'm using it. And I know it's winter when I'm filming this, but I needed to use this deck. And it's really interesting because we've got like the new kind of spring, which is a male figure. And then we've got this old woman that is kind of like, in a way, dying, but he's got his hand on her shoulder. And it's interesting because she has this halo. So it's almost like there's a sense of honouring what we've been through, honouring the things that we've gone through, and that we've gone through this cycle, and that we are who we are, but it's made us something different. It's made us who we are. So we have to appreciate that to its fullest. It's been a long time coming, you know. Part 2, I don't know, like it feels that like maybe you've had a bit of trouble in accepting who you are. So what's happened now is you've finally gotten to a point where you actually respect who you are. And now, you know, all of a sudden there's going to be other options that are available to you. And it's really interesting because usually with the 7 of Cups, I see it as dreams and kind of falsities, but here I'm actually seeing it how everyone else sees it, which is like I'm just seeing lots of options that become available to you, but really you're understanding that these things are not really what you want. You want other things, and you've kind of moved past that, which is really, really cool. So weird. I did pile 1's reading in a really weird way. Like I did one oracle card. I did one row of the tarot, then I did an oracle card and an oracle card. For those of you who come and read my readings like regularly, I do the oracle cards usually first, or I do like oracle cards, then tarot, and then oracle cards. But this time for pile 1, I did like one row of the tarot, some oracle cards, and then I did the second row of the tarot. It's weird, but the tarot wants to speak now, so sorry, you don't get the same treatment, pile 2. So we've got the 6 of Wands. Interesting. 6 of Wands here. Clarifying justice. 6 of Wands clarifying justice. 6 of Wands clarifying justice. I'm going to move that just over here because then we'll have a bit more space. The 6 of Wands clarifying justice, which in this deck is 11. Okay. 2 of Wands is clarified by the 7 of Swords. Interesting. 7 of Swords. I was deciding whether or not to take the 3, but no. Thank you. Okay, so we've got the 3, 1, 6 Pentacles. Okay, you've got 2 6s. Interesting. I think there's been like some maneuvering that you've had to do, and now you just have to do what you've almost had to. I would go as far as say that there's been a bit of lying to oneself about a few things, about maybe a denial of needs, and now you're refusing to do that. You're refusing to allow yourself to be compromised. Because I think it seems like there was a small success here in terms of maybe there was something that you realized that you were right about, and you decided, okay, I have to really stand my ground on this. But I wouldn't be surprised if in the past you may have felt that you weren't being honest with yourself, and you kind of allowed yourself not to be honest with yourself because you wanted to just kind of keep the peace. But now you've made other plans in order to kind of look after yourself, because you know that where you stand is not somewhere that's fair, so you need to move to somewhere that is actually a fairer space. To give you some context, it could be that you're working in a job where you know that there's a possibility of promotion. You managed to, actually you've been trying to work towards a promotion, but in the end it's ended up not happening. You've ended up having to cover your tracks, or you've ended up maybe even possibly doing work for other people and then them taking the credit or something like that. Or there's just been some kind of like politics that's just been going on at work. And then what happens is then you finally get your say, albeit it could be small, but you do finally get your say. You do finally get listened to. And now, and even then, like when you've finally gotten listened to, you actually started making your own plans to maybe apply for other jobs and to like go somewhere else and to do other things. So these have actually come through. So the Seven of Cups, Seven of Cups being clarified by the Three of Wands, absolutely. So these offers have come through actually. So you may have been offered to go somewhere else. And then what's happened is then it's actually highlighted what kind of situation that you've allowed yourself to kind of be you've just allowed yourself to stay in a situation which hasn't benefited you. So now you're starting to understand your worth. So what essentially this is saying is that your next steps on the path are exactly what you think it should be, because where you are currently is not really fulfilling you. It's only going to get you so far. It's almost like you're in a bit somewhere where there's a bit of a glass ceiling, it feels like. So let's have a look at some chakra energy. Wow, you got the same one as pile 1. I communicate clearly. Okay. Oh no, you didn't actually. They got the throat chakra, but it's a different action. So I communicate clearly. You wear a turquoise necklace to encourage clear communication. Touch it when you're lost for words. So, I mean, what I'm getting from that is that you know, just being really clear and succinct with your words is going to be something that's really going to help you to look like you know what you're talking about. You're being assertive, you're being dynamic, you're able to kind of stand out among people rather than having to, you know, just be quiet. This is not about you being quiet. This is about you standing up. Wow. Okay, and we've got the shadow. Let's put her here. So the shadow for me is about things that are just under the surface, almost like a moon reversed in a way. It says to me that it's a little bit, things are not as clear as they seem. People may be showing one side of themselves. They may be showing like one side of themselves that they kind of, that they don't want anybody else to see. Interesting. And it feels to me like it's your time to shine. To be honest, it feels to me like this is the time for you to step out and be the one who's going to be in charge here. Wow, okay, so we've got don't rush things, slow down. You know, that's really interesting that we've got this snail here, but you know, mushrooms come up really quick. Like, they come up really quick and then they go down really quick. So what I get from this is that there is a time, like, you move slowly, but when the time is right, like, you get in there. Do you know what I mean? That's why it's really important for you to communicate clearly and succinctly. Say what you got to say and get the fuck out of there. That's what this feels like. Okay, so your last card to close out the reading. Oh, badger. Look at that badger. Oh my God, look at the badger. Badger is perseverance. Dig in and see through it to completion. I love that so much. Oh my God, badger. I hope you can see that okay. But I'll show it there just in case you haven't seen it, but badger. I mean, I'll be honest with you, pile 2. It feels like that you have been absolutely underestimated in this situation. Like, it feels that people have not seen you clearly. They've not given you the benefit of the doubt. They've undermined you. And you're like, you fuckers, I'm gonna show you. Like, and then what's happened is then you've actually been in demand. People actually want you, because they're realizing your worth. So that's marvelous. So, in summary, what are the next steps on your current path? Have resolve within yourself that who you are is exactly enough. Communicate yourself clearly by articulating your thoughts in a cohesive manner, and also wearing turquoise, which is really good for communication. And also the day of Wednesday. Wednesday is very good to communicate or harness the energy of Wednesday, Mercury. Wednesday day. Wednesday is Mercury day. Slow down, but know when to take action. Or slow down so that you know when to take action. Persevere, because there are going to be some challenging people and things and situations that you may have to encounter, but see it through. Understand that things may not be what they seem. They're not all completely in the light, but they will come to light because we've got the different phases of the moon, so things come to light when they should do. You have had some wins, and it's about time that you are recognized. This is something that has been a long time coming. Things haven't been fair in your favor. Things have been working against you. You have been right, but the plans that you've put into place in terms of your own longevity and also your stability, your own sense of self-preservation, the things you need to do, that's all going to come forward. And you know now that what your value is, what your worth is, and that you're not going to stay in a situation where you're not really valued for who you are. So those are the next steps on your path. I hope you enjoyed this reading, pile 2. It was really great reading for you. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. If you do like the video and comment if you wish to, then it just helps the algorithm and also just shows me that you're enjoying the readings. I really appreciate you, by the way, all of you, because some of the things that you all say in the comments have just completely touched my heart. Yeah, it really means a lot to me. So thank you. Have a wonderful morning, evening, night, or day whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 3, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful labradorite. This is such a gorgeous labradorite piece. So beautiful. It was given to me as a gift. And quite a special piece of labradorite, actually. So something that is unexpected. So something that isn't necessarily what you thought was good is going to be something that actually works out to be good for you. Because I'm just thinking about the situation in which I got this stone from. It's actually from a friend of mine, and her, yeah, it's basically the person I speak to. Oh, this comes from someone I don't speak to anymore. Not of my own thing, but she had a bit of a falling out with this person. So it just makes me think that even though, like, there's just that, even though this stone came from a weird place, like not the most positive of places, there's still something very beautiful and useful about it. There's something still very, very good about it. It's almost like, you know, it's like this person didn't have to give me this stone, but they did. And I didn't know this person very much. But they gave it to me. And even though I know that this person is not, it's not really like, you know, I don't really like this person anymore. Not that I don't like them, but they didn't behave in a very good way to my friend. And yet the stone is so beautiful. So it's almost like something really beautiful can come out of the darkest of places, you know. And I think that that's what this stone is about. And I'm sorry I needed to like TMI a bit and tell you a bit much about the background of this stone, but it's because that this stone actually holds that story. You know, like we all receive things from people that we might not speak to anymore, but these things are, you know, the memory that they have at that time of when it was given. You know, this was a birthday present from that person to me, and that memory still is held there. So it's still a beautiful stone. Like nothing can take that away from this stone. And I'm a bit biased because labradorite is my favorite, but also one of my favorites. But also the fact that this is a multicolored stone. So you have red, blue, green, yellow, and you have the void of black. You have a tiny bit of purple there as well. This stone has it all. And yet it can seem like it's just a grey, boring stone. So it's almost like this thing may not seem like it's a good thing at all, but there's a little bit of the obstacle is the way kind of thing that's going on here. I understand life ebbs and flows. I can ride the waves as they come. Yeah, there's something about understanding the role that these things play in our path to walking or achieving this goal or doing this thing that we're wanting to do that is in relation to this question that you're asking me, or asking the cards even. Lion, courage, love it. Have courage, dear friend. Have courage. Ask for what you want. Go for it and be bold. Have courage, dear friend. And as I looked at the clock, it was 43:43. Reconnect. That's cool. Reconnect with something or someone you lost the connection to. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say about that. That's my cue to do the tarot. Okay, so we've got, wow, the Seven of Cups has come up for every pile. And so is the Two of Wands. I promise I am shuffling these. So there must be like similar messages for you all. And then we've got Judgment. Oh my God, look at that Judgment card. I've just started using these cards, so I don't really know them that well. But look at that. Look at all that Datura. Datura is also known as the Devil's Trumpet in psychedelics and psychoactive substances, particularly with things like ayahuasca. They use it in order to deepen the experience. It's quite a, you know, you have to be quite an advanced shaman in order to use this material. But it almost like brings you close to death. That's the whole thing. And Datura, Judgment, is about rising from the dead. So it's almost like, are you taking the choice to make sure that you are, like, are you choosing to rise, basically? Are you choosing to rise to this situation? And I would be honest with you, it looks like you are. If it was reversed, then I'd say that you're not. But you are. You're choosing. But you know what's really interesting about this is that because it's Datura, it's almost like you might have needed to go to the very edge and think that it was all over before you realized that actually it's not. That's deep, man. That's really deep. One more, please. Thanks. Four of Swords. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Look at that freaking card. Oh my God. It's the Four of Swords and it's got death all over it, which the Four of Swords doesn't usually have that all over it, but I was just talking about all of that in it. Anyway. And for those of you who said I wasn't a squib in the last reading, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I think this is it, like you're rising to the occasion and you're rising from a space where you thought that things were over and now you're realizing that now is the time to act and move forward. I think that the reconnection is coming back with a sense of self that really reminds you of home. It reminds you of who you are. I don't think that you're actually minimizing your choices here. You're realizing what is the truth of the situation. So interesting how we've got so many elements of death here. And that is like the death of a sense of self. Like I really think that part of you has had to die in order for you to reconnect with a part of yourself. It feels a bit soul retrievy, like soul retrieval-esque. That what's happened is that you've understand that at points you lose yourself and you need to reclaim those parts of yourself. That's what we have with the Lion and Courage. So now you're like, right, I have no choice now. I have to reclaim myself because if I don't, it's never going to happen. There's going to be times when I don't feel that I'm all together. There's going to be times where I feel that I'm low, but that's not going to define who I am. We've got strength here. Yes, absolutely. And then the King of Swords, but it's reversed. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely about you understanding when is the right point for you to move forward, not move forward. To recognize when your strength is lacking. To understand like when you're not in a space to be able to say the right thing. When you're not able to make the right decision. Respecting yourself in those spaces. And then we've got the Hanged Man. Oh my God, that's such a beautiful Hanged Man. And the Eight of Pentacles, yeah, big time. You've got to work. This is your hustling time, my darlings. This is about you hustling. Hustling, hustling, hustling. And sometimes, you know, you taking no action is the action. I'm not saying that you're not doing anything, but I just feel like this is proper incognito. Like, you're not going to be telling people about this at all. I don't think any of you, if you've watched all of the parts, I think that this is very covert, all of it. Like, this is something where this is just between yourself, me, and the people, or the spirit, and the people that you really want to tell. But I should be telling you things that only you should know, and let that only be a confirmation to you, because you're like hustling. You know that now is the time to hustle. Now is the time to move forward and just work. Like, work. You have everything you need to move forward. Do not communicate it. Absolutely not. Because one, I don't think people have your best interest at heart, and two, it will make you lose power if you communicate this with anyone. So just get on and just do what you've got to do. Love it, pole 3. The Rabbit and the Fox. I might need to look in the book for that, because I don't know if I can remember like what exactly that is. So bear with. The Rabbit and the Fox. The Rabbit and the Fox. I mean, you know something? It would be really nice, dear people who write books, if you could do it alphabetically. No, it's not alphabetical. I was like thinking, I've said that and I bet they've put it in alphabetical order, and no, they hadn't. So I was justified in saying that. Anyway, the Rabbit and the Fox. Ever wonder why there's a rabbit on the moon? Of all the creatures of the earth, the rabbit was called the most generous. One day, Lady Luna visited Earth. All the animals gathered around to greet this new visitor, and they brought her gifts. Some brought wood, others gathered fruit. The fox gathered fish from the river, while the poor rabbit offered grass. The rabbit told the lady to make a fire from the grass and the wood. In return, he offered his body so that the lovely lady would live. Oh my God. In return, she brought the rabbit back to life and took him to the moon, always to live with her. Oh my God. Generosity begets gifts. Always offer what you can. Oh my God. Where does the fox come into this, though? Anyway, that was cute as F, man. So, on that note, okay. So what does that mean? Interesting. So basically, where you are being generous in one space, like with the ebbs and flows of what happens here, there is going to be times where you're going to lose, so you make a loss in order to make a profit. And you see, the rabbit didn't do it because the rabbit knew that it was going to get brought back to life. Do you know what I mean? It just gave itself selflessly. So you just act within your values, and you just do what you gotta do. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to do anything to seem like you're a martyr, to seem like you're anything that maybe like you're doing something to get something. You just do it because that's who you are. Does that make sense? And lo and behold, something really beautiful will kind of come about with that. So that's what I'm getting from this. Okay, so one more card to close out the reading. This is such a great reading. These readings have been really cool, man. They've been very, very nice readings. I've really enjoyed them. So do go and watch the others if you have to. I feel like they've got messages for everyone. I've definitely learnt from all of them. They're beautiful readings. I just want one. Just one. Next steps for my pile 3s, please. Wow. All of you had the throat chakra. So this is about communication. People are listening. People listening have faith. That's the affirmation. The action is drink a cup of peppermint tea to activate the throat chakra and make your voice be heard. God. So the other, I think one was turquoise, one was basil, and then this one is like eat basil, and this one is peppermint. People listening have faith. People listening have faith. So it's almost like, you know, there's a sense of faith within oneself that you need to kind of make sure that you're keeping up, having the courage to go forward, remembering that the ebbs and flows of life are something that needs to be ridden so that you can capitalize and know when the right time is to take action. Reconnecting with a sense of self that really is connecting with your true values and your desires. Understanding that sacrifices have to be made and not doing it for a gain. And just doing things out of the kindness of your heart. Obviously, you know, not doing it like so that you're putting yourself out, which kind of isn't an exact match to the story, but, you know, you kind of get the gist. And understanding that, you know, you have strength in standing up for what you believe in. Don't communicate all of your plans, and remember that you have your castle, you have your space. Understanding that you having a different sense of perspective on a situation gives you the power that you need in order to make the right decision, and you don't necessarily have to move forward. And just keep your head down and work and hustle. Pile 3, I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. If you liked it, please do give it a like or comment, because then that helps the algorithm find it. But otherwise, my darlings, thank you so much for all of your love and support. I really appreciate it. It really means the world to me, like all of your beautiful comments. It really does mean so much. So thank you. I'm so grateful for you all. Have a wonderful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember, my darlings, that honesty is always key.